This is Joe Pugh for the Boxing Voice, once again joined by Mr. Mark Tibbs. How are you, Mark?
Lovely, Joe, thank you, mate. Yourself, you good?
Very well, thank you. We're here at the final press conference for Joshua Buatsi versus Craig Richards. Your charge, John Hedges, on the undercard. Good to get him out again. Third time in a row at the O2. It's becoming quite the venue for him. What are you expecting from his performance?
I'm expecting him to be a little bit be more dominant this time, a bit more dominant. And when I say more dominant, a bit more front footy. Yeah, he's got to start practising, pushing people back at times. So he's a great boxer, John. You can't teach him how to box and not get hit. Yeah, we've got to slowly but surely putting in to getting on the front foot at times when it suits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He got his first knockout last time out. Do you expect it be second on Saturday?
It would be nice, but listen, long as he boxes out foxes, it's the guy with more punches, and he don't get caught. I'll be happy with that. I want a nice solid performance, but a TKO or a KO is always a bonus. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I was with your other young talents. I was with your other young talents on Monday. I was with Johnny Fisher and Tommy Fletcher, as well as Brooke, and that was in Upminster. Johnny getting punching again. Great signs. Brilliant.
Always get excited when Johnny Fisher's in training camp. He was in twice last week with myself. He's been doing a bit with Sonny Cannon. He's been doing quite a lot with Sonny as it happens, but we ain't been overdoing it because he had to get some results from that hand. So he's been doing a bit with Sonny Cannon, quite a lot, and done 2 sessions with myself last week, and looking forward to get Johnny Hedges' win out the way and start getting some momentum with Johnny Fisher. I understand, speaking to Adam Morali at SJAM, I understand John could and should be out by the end of July.
Fantastic. And Tommy Fletcher, you've been working with him for such a long time, and hopefully his pro debut will be coming. We're hearing early July, potentially on the Joyce Parker undercard. Nothing confirmed yet, though. Be good to finally get him out, though. Yeah,
it will be. It will be good to get him out. It has been. See, Tommy. A lot of people around me go, "I'm a whiny boxing yet. We wanted to get him with the right people. He's that of a good prospect. We wanted to get him with the right platform and the right management and the right promotional team that suited him, and we finally got there in the end. And he's been in training. He's been training with us a long while, but we haven't caned him, or he's been ticking over. But I started to pick it up last week and he's I'm really excited to get Tommy off the ground, so to speak.
Fantastic. And we will mention it, Brooke come into the gym. It's very different for you, a raw novice. Obviously, Elle's never boxed before. I interviewed her on Monday and she said you told her to start shadow boxing, and she didn't even know what shadow boxing was. What's that like for you in the gym?
Well, I sat down with her manager Chris, and we had a chit chat, and it was exciting but very different. And she's got some beef with another girl from where she lives in Portsmouth, and we had a 20-minute chat and see where she was coming from and where it was going to, hopefully. And the next thing I knew, she moved to Faden Boyce. Out in Essex or Epping, around that way. Things around Faden Boyce area. So she upped cases from Portsmouth to come and live by the gym. So that's good. Yeah. So she's a lovely girl. She's a very she's got dog in her. She can punch. She just needs training and coaching. Yeah, and she's hit some pain barriers that not a lot of people, 24-year-old from not an athletic background wouldn't even get past the first lap, if you know what I mean. She's a fun bundle of fun to be around. Yeah.
Definitely. Tommy Fletcher couldn't stop laughing around her. John Hedges says she can't help but flirt at 24/7. So how are you finding that in the gym, Mark?
Nah, I'll be honest, yeah, she's just like I train Elle on her own, and I think she's been in 2 weeks now, going into our 3rd week. And well, this is our 3rd week, and she's doing well. She's doing really, really well. But the guys that have got dates or professionals, we kind of cross paths. They don't really. But that superhuman, you talk about the superhuman, be superhuman. Yeah, they all went up there and took Elle, made her feel part of it. And she's really gelling with the fighters. Yeah.
And last time I spoke to you, you was in camp with Ebony Bridges for a world title fight. Congratulations, fantastic win.
Did it? Do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember? Because you weren't sure, but we did it.
But to be fair, Mark, when you first got her in the gym like a few months back, it was a very, very different Ebony Bridges, and it showed the progress from kind of the Shannon Courtney performance a year ago to this world title win.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you said that. After 3 weeks of training Ebony, things clicked, and you know, she was a pleasure to work with. She's not only the IBF world champion right now, but she's got championship credentials, mentality, and that is always a pleasure to work with. And you know, that will rub off on the. I hate to say this, it will rub off on the boys in the gym. She's a professional, a true professional. The way she eats, her training, and everything. She's a true pro. Not in professional boxing wise terms, but now she's a world champion. She will be 3 times the fighter she is. I promise you that.
Fantastic. And we see Ebony, apparently she's coming back in June, I'm led to believe. So when do you think she'll be out next to make her first world title defence?
We've spoke about it, but I can't really. It wouldn't be fair for me to say, because you know nothing's nailed down. I'm sure she's got to sit down with Eddie and Brian Cohen, her manager, and but her coming to the UK in June, like you said, is always a good sign. So hopefully we're going to get a date soon. Yeah,
100%, and get camp started. When I was talking to Johnny Fisher the other day, we did mention the Tyson Fury Dillian Whyte fight. Obviously you had interest in that fight, and he said to me that if Dillian had been with Mark still, it would have been a different story and he would have had more of a go at it. What do you make of those comments from Fisher?
Oh, John said that, did he? Yeah. That's lovely, isn't it? It's lovely. Well, it's not fair for me to comment now, because it's what's done's done. But I was frustrated the way Dillian took the approach against Tyson Fury. For sure, I was frustrated. There's always a soft spot, you know, being the time we spent together. But you know, it is what it is, and it was what it was. But it's nice that John said that, Fisher. Yeah.
100%, and the important thing is, like you were just talking to Dean there, so it's all very friendly. But Tyson Fury, just how good was he that night, though? Taking away the tactics from Dillian, how good was Tyson?
Tyson Fury's he was, listen, because of his boxing brain and his size and his length and range, and he's got every trick in the book. He controls him. Since I started, since he had the trilogy fight, I've noticed he controls all the situation. He's controlling everything. Do you know what I mean? And that takes you got to be wise, and he's a very, very wise operator, Tyson Fury, and because of his imposing size and range and his IQ we're talking about, difficult man to beat. But no, I was a little bit frustrated. Dillian coming out southpaw and trying to outbox him. But you know, gave us a good fight. Dillian got what he wanted. His world title fight at our national stadium. Great fight. 100,000 fans as well.
Last thing, Mark, is coming up to just past the year anniversary of Billy Joe versus Canelo. Massive fight for yourself and your career, and since then, couple of weeks ago, Canelo has obviously been beat by Dimitri Bivol. I've seen it in past interviews, you saying that kind of size got the better of Canelo that time, but tactically, from a trainer's perspective, what did Dimitri Bivol do, which obviously you planned a whole fight around beating Canelo, but how did he execute that?
Well, Bivol was built different to Billy Joe. You know, he's built and boxes different to Billy Joe Saunders. He was obviously, it was light heavyweight, wasn't it, as well? So he was the real natural light heavyweight in that fight against Canelo. And to be fair, I kind of fancied Canelo at first. Then I watched Richards versus Bivol. And then I thought, right, I'm not surprised he got beat, and I think Bivol will always have Canelo's number because he's got good feet as well. 270 odd amateur fights at a high level. Yeah, it's not. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
Brilliant, Mark. Best of luck on Saturday with John, and hopefully I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers, mate.
Joe, thanks, Joe. Top man, mate.
Cheers, mate.